Let's talk money, more specifically money management, and we have something coming from Jeff Bezos that I would argue is pretty credible. I mean, if you're gonna be one of the richest people in the world, build a billion-dollar company, you know what? I'm gonna be open to what you have to say. Does that mean that I'm gonna blindly follow you? Of course not, because I wanna be able to think critically for myself. And if you're watching these videos, if you're a subscriber to my channel, I'm assuming you are the same way. Let's consider what people have to say, but let's not blindly follow. But there is a recent article out, and Jeff Bezos shares some things about spending, and then some critics don't like what he has to say, and I'm going to try my best not to rant and rave in this video, but I don't know. What are these people thinking? Let's just get to the article. So here on Market Watch, Jeff Bezos tells people not to buy cars, refrigerators, and other big-ticket items. Critics call him out. All right, what is going on here? Here's what he said. If you're an individual and you're thinking about buying a large screen TV, maybe slow that down. Keep that cash. See what happens. Same thing with a refrigerator, a new car, whatever. Just take some risk off the table. And if you know anything about this channel, you know that I'm all about risk management, risk control, and I realize that usually people are associating that with trading and stop losses and stuff like that. But that certainly applies within your personal finance and wealth building goals too. You always want to be focusing on risk and making sure that you're not putting your personal finances in a risky situation. So as of now, okay, somebody that's been very, very successful is offering up some warnings and saying, hey, you know what? Just slow down. Just slow down. So let's continue on with the article. As it goes on to say, why did Bezos offer the tip for consumers and small businesses to go easy on big ticket items? There we go. He provided one big reason. If we're not in a recession right now, we're likely to be in one very soon, he said. In the interview, picking up the cautionary tweet last month that the probabilities in this economy tell you to batten down the hatches. So once again, we have somebody saying, you know, from what I see, from what I'm understanding, recession seems more likely than not. And not only has this person been, you know, very successful, but I mean, he is somebody that understands all this data, right? He built Amazon. He knows a thing or two about data, you know, customers, consumers, all that sort of stuff. And when you see him making these sorts of claims, again, do we just blindly follow? No, but worth at least considering. And then this is where things get good. Critics have taken aim at these words of thrift. Of thrift. Let me focus on that word real quick. Of thrift. What is wrong with being thrifty? What is wrong with, you know what? Let's slow things down. How is that a bad thing? So right when you see that, these critics have revealed that what bizarre world are they? I mean, I suppose if you were to tell these critics, you know, I'm going to go shopping at Goodwill or some sort of thrift store, they would probably, from their elitist status, look down upon you. What do you mean you're going to be thrifty? What do you mean you're trying to be frugal with your money? What kind of little peasant are you? That's a vibe you get when people are critics because somebody's just telling people to be thrifty. What? Anyways, let's go back to it. So thrift coming from a man who built Amazon into an 800-pound gorilla. Online shopping and is personally worth some $120 billion. Now, this is where the counterfactual comes into play. Okay, so if we're not really supposed to listen or really pay attention to, if we're supposed to be critical of somebody that's made a bunch of money. Now, I understand the illusion. The illusion is, what do you know about being thrifty? What do you know about saving money? You got all that money, so you don't have any problems. You have no concerns. You can't relate to anybody because you have all that money. Yeah, but how did he get all that money? This is somebody that did very well and has done very well. So what's the counter to that? Are we supposed to go listen to somebody that's a crackhead living in the gutter? Because, I mean, they don't have any money. So are they going to be really good at giving us money management because, wow, they got it really hard. And so because they got it really hard, you know, those are the people that we should be listening to. Right? That's absolutely insanity. So what, to you critics out there, then who should we be listening to? I mean, and why shouldn't we be listening to somebody that's saying be thrifty, right? I don't quite, and I'm not quite connecting these dots. And then to continue on with this, but his advice prompted some Goofas, I have no idea what that is, on social media. In a nutshell, critics say these words of thrift are a bit rich coming from a man. Bezos is now worth approximately 120 million or 120 billion. So I know I went over that, but I just want to reiterate these words of thrift. Why are you criticizing somebody that's saying, you know what, just slow down your spending, be thrifty? How is that bad advice to be thrifty, to not go out there and load up on depreciating assets? What is there to be critical of that? Now, I would understand critics, and I would probably be alongside them if Bezos was out there saying, hey, load up and put it on the credit cards, load up on all these depreciating assets. Let's go. You owe it to your family. You know what? Give it to them. They deserve it. Load up on the credit card with depreciating assets. At that point, all right, I'm going to be critical of that because that seems a little sketchy. But to tell somebody to be thrifty, what? Again, makes no sense. And then the final critique is, who built Amazon into an online mega bazaar where consumers are encouraged to seamlessly spend money. Once again, this is such poor logic. Any business encourages you to spend money. Have you ever looked, and if you have not, you really should if you find this stuff fascinating, because it is truly fascinating. Look at the psychology of a grocery store. You want to talk about somebody that is literally preying upon your psychological wiring to get you to spend more money? Check out the grocery store. The most basic example of, do you ever wonder why they got those small little items right at the cashier register? Because they realize psychologically it's much easier to get you to impulse buy a little, a dollar candy bar. There is so much psychology in a grocery store, and that's just one in business. So what does that even mean to criticize? Well, you used to run a business where you try to get consumers to spend money. Yeah, that's what a business does? What are you even talking about, critics? And I know I'm getting a little animated, but who are these people? What world are they living in where that's their justification mechanism? You're trying to make your shareholders money. You're trying to put food on the table of your family. Wait, what? You're trying to keep your people employed by getting people to spend more money at your business. Huh? You know what? That's all bad. You know what? Why would we take advice, especially when the advice is being thrifty, from somebody that's built a $1 billion company? Let's go take it from the crackhead because they got it rough. This is lunacy. So at the core, you know what? And even last week, did a video, talked about, not last week, on Monday actually, so even better timing, talked about being a financial vulture because there's a lot of weak things out there. And that's what Bezos is also talking about. You know what? He's seeing weakness. He's seeing continued weakness, and he's trying to warn people. He's trying to encourage people. You know what? Just hold off. Let's see what happens. And I don't want to speak for him, but what I think he means is I bet you can get even better deals if you just wait a little while longer, because if we go into a recession and things get pretty nuts, prices could very well come down. So like I said, I am definitely with Bezos, not because he said it. I was already thinking this. And like I said, you can watch that video from Monday. There's just more and more data that's coming out that's suggesting that if you just save that cash, as Jeff Bezos said, there's going to be some future opportunity. But yeah, consider being thrifty. And to you critics out there, never mind. If you enjoy the video, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.